Donald sent me to pick up some, hardware.
Alright, I got what you boys need, but it's gonna cost. Don said you'd pay me up front and he'd reimburse you later.
Yeah, I bet he did. Now where's the hardware?
Shit, son. Hardware like this takes time to put together. I'll be in touch.
So that is the mission, Mo Money, Mo Problems, which really isn't a mission, it's just a cutscene, but after waiting 1 minute after the cutscene, you'll get a phone call from 8-Ball.
My man, this is 8-Ball. Your hardware is ready to ship out. Look, man, this truck is loaded. Know what I'm saying? Drive cool. Yeah. It's all good. Sure, I'll put them on.
Tony, we're one little job away from being fabulously rich.
We've scoured plans of Fort Staunton. Its weakest points are along the old subway that runs underneath the area.
Great, Don. All I gotta do is dodge 100 wacko Italians.
Just head along the Porter Tunnel and you'll find your way in just fine.
So we've got ourselves a bit of a high-octane type of situation on our hands here. Is what we have to do for this mission is use this Rumpo, which, by the way, is a unique color of red Rumpo. So, you see that bumper there? Well, normally bumpers have that silver tang to them, but in the case of this particular Rumpo, the whole slab of meat is completely red. So, that's what makes this Rumpo different from the norm there. And by the way, we're actually going to see another unique colored vehicle a bit later on in this mission, so I'll point that out once we reach that point. But, I gotta say, with this particular color of red, I mean, we all know that there's 50 shades of gray, but I'd say that that's true for most colors, because on that red spectrum, I'd say that this particular shade of red leans more towards the red-orange color, and yeah, I mean, I'm not a big fan of that type of red. I'm more of a brick red fella myself, so, this Rumpo isn't as cool as it could be, but either way, we're using this Rumpo to drop bombs, arms weak, knees heavy, and then you got your mother's lasagna in the corner or something, so, you got that going on there. And the reason for the explosives in our possession is because we're going to plant them all around the currently being constructed Porter Tunnel. And there are weak points that were alluded to during that cutscene where we were on the phone with Donald Love, and of course we saw 8-Ball too. That's fantastic stuff. And by the way, you got to watch out for the Forellis chasing after you, because you see that the fella just exploded all over me, and I mean, now's not the time for such things, kind of an intense moment going on. So, I guess at this point, it's not a big deal that we took a lot of damage there. It's just that we kind of got to watch ourselves when we're maneuvering through this tunnel, because there are a lot of opportunities to crash into walls and stuff. So, you kind of got to watch out, because we're cutting it close there, but we're gonna be fine. You don't have any more Forellis chasing after you, trying to crash into you and destroy you and all that. So, yeah, we'll be in good position to finish off this mission. But I guess that's just something you got to watch out for. But either way, we have these weak spots that we're planting these explosives at, and over the course of being within the tunnel, you're gonna have construction workers wondering what the hell you're doing out here. So they're gonna try to kill you. So I mean, they're not really that big of a deal to take care of. I suppose from this point, this mission's fairly straightforward. And kind of going back to the 8-Ball thing, because I want to point this out for some reason, but, in Grand Theft Auto 3, 8-Ball is in that game, and in the opening cutscene, he's fairly significant, because he and Claude, the main character of that game, they escape from a police convoy that was, I guess, kind of interrupted with. So during that interruption, they also maneuver their way out of that police convoy and make their escape to freedom and all that. So fantastic stuff for our protagonist there. But the main thing I want to get to is that after that opening cutscene and right before the gameplay actually begins, you have some dialogue with 8-Ball, and during that dialogue, 8-Ball calls you his brother, which at the time of the release of the game, I was a young kid, so I actually thought that Claude and 8-Ball were brothers, like they were adopted or something, so he was actually, like, literally calling him his brother. But, I mean, as I learned from the streets later on, I mean, that's just, that's a word of endearment there. It's like calling someone, your buddy or something. So it's the same thing, synonyms and all that. So yeah, that's what's going on there. But as you can see, what's going on here, once we've planted all of the explosives, they all go off, and you can see that this place here in Fort Stoughton is just completely destroyed, which is a bit of a shame because I really like this area of Fort Stoughton, but it gives a reason as to why it exists in this game but not in Grand Theft Auto 3, and that is a very necessary thing, actually. You can't just remove an area without explanation. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense. But yeah, either way, the reasoning for the explosions going off and all that, like the purpose behind it, is mainly because you're getting revenge on the Forellis, because the Forellis, they dine and dash in this area, so they also helped the current mayor, Miles O'Donovan, get elected over Donald Love, so you're kind of getting revenge for that there. So that's the primary thing going on. And of course, Donald Love is going to make real estate investments in this area. He learned something from Avery Carrington. So yeah, fantastic stuff. Things coming full circle and all that. I love it. It's fantastic, and it tickles the fancy in ways you would not believe. And speaking of things of that nature, we've also collected our 100th hidden package properly. And thank you again, Al Malloy, for letting me use your footage in the hidden package part. But anyways, that completes this part. In the next part, we'll move on to Donald Love's final mission, which is called Love on the Run. So until then, I will see you next time.